Hey, what's up, the YouTuber? It's me again. And yeah, today we're gonna be doing a review video on the album Mortician, Darkest Day of Horror. And I gotta say, this is a great album. This album originally came out in 2002 by the band Mortician. If you guys didn't know, basically Mortician is a local band here in New York City. So yeah, these guys are my local band. Same thing with Immolation. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see that my local band, Mortician, basically does a fantastic job on their albums. Tell you the truth, they are a fantastic Mortician. With those blast beats going... They got a great drummer who can do good blast beats. I can tell you that. Trust me, they have a great drummer. And I gotta say, I love this album. Darkest Day of Horror, fantastic album. Like, the first starts with the beginning song with Audia, very good. Then the final song, the final sacrifice. I love how it has this little news broadcast in the beginning that says, like, death in Harvard, America. So I'm like, over 50 bodies, like that. The mass murder in the history of the country. I just love how it starts with that huge, brutal, like, news broadcast. And then it goes right to the song that goes, down, 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 down. I'm like, wow, that's great. What a great way to actually end the album, I can tell you that. I love the album cover art of all like the zombies in New York City. It looks like something from The Walking Dead, I swear to God. Like in the first episode of the show. Like when all the zombies are in the city. It kind of does remind me about that, to tell you the truth. And also reminds me of the movie 28 Days Later. It does, actually. And I love the back with the zombie head right over here. That's pretty cool. The way they actually did the LP for this vinyl, I would say, I am glad that they actually are starting to like reissue like the old classic Mortician vinyls into an actual vinyl itself. And I'm like, I hope they do it with House by the Cemetery, because I would love to have that on vinyl. I only have Mortal Massacre and Hacked Up for Barbecue and Darkest Day of Horror. All I just need is Domain of Death, which I'm going to be getting soon, because I want to be able to buy that one. And also the, as I said, House by the Cemetery. What I'm saying is like, oh sorry, what I was saying is like, I really hope they continue making more Mortician's albums on LP, because they are just great. And just like I'm saying right here, I love this little gatefold that they have on this album of like the band members, the lyrics to all the songs. Now that is fucking amazing. It was actually... It says, Darkest Day of Horror was recorded and mixed June 2002, engineered by Roger assistant engineer. Wow, hold on. All right, North and South America. Yeah, Relapse Records. Yeah. Website and email. Oh, wow, you can actually email Mortician. That's fucking brutal. I would really love to see these guys live. I hope they have a show here in New York, here in New York City, because I would love to go see Mortician, because... These guys are like one of the very, very legendary death metal bands back in the 90s. I can definitely tell you that. They are absolutely fantastic. Love this. Love this album. Like, if you guys have not heard this album, Darkest Day of Horror, please do. And not just that, if you guys didn't know, I also got on picture disc. So, you can see, like, the front of the album, the back of the album with the zombie. I gotta say, I love picture disc. Just like I said with the album, the Obituary Slowly Rot album. Just like I said with that, I love that album on picture disc. I just like, if you saw the unboxing video, yes, I love picture disc albums. I think, just like I said before, I think picture discs are way better than just plain vinyls that just say the logo of the band and the name. I think on black vinyl, I'm like, it's not that exciting. It's the same thing like every vinyl. But I love like little splatter vinyls and all that. That's really cool. But I'm more of a picture disc guy. And yeah, what I'm saying about like every song on this album is just absolutely brutal. Like I love that the guttural vocals that go like I'm like, whoa, it's pretty brutal. I can tell you that. The vocalist from Mortician is absolutely amazing. His vocals on this album, I feel like every single Mortician album I listen to, the vocals get a lot better and the guitar sounds a lot heavier. Like I was listening to the album one day while not this album, not the Darkest Day of Horror. I was listening to on my phone the album House by the Cemetery. I kind of like how the quality on that album sounds. It sounds very brutal. Like when I say brutal, I mean the vocals were very more guttural. The guitar sounded a lot better, and the bass was a little heavier. The vocals were a lot more guttural. The guitar sounded a lot clearer. That's one thing I loved about that album a lot. Actually, the quality of that album was just fantastic. Same thing here with Darkest Day of Horror. Like, right after the album Domain of Death, when I was listening to it, this album kind of made it a little more heavier. This album is a little more heavier than Domain of Death, I'm going to tell you that. Plus, I like the album cover better on this one than Domain of Death, actually, to tell you the truth, because I think that this album is absolutely fantastic. For like the classic Mortician, Mortician's Darkest Day of Horror is basically one of the best Mortician albums. I think I would say my absolute favorite Mortician album, actually, I think it is actually House by the Cemetery. I think that album cover is the most brutal album cover from Mortician. You just see the house in the background, the head, like, literally, like, jabbed it into, like, the stick, and you see, like, the eyes are, like, on it, and I'm, like, in the mouth of this. And you see, like, the eyes, like, both out the sockets of the head, and it's, like, on both the ends of the twig, and I'm like, ooh, that's brutal. And I just love that album cover a lot. I think that's like the best Mortician album and the best Mortician album cover to date. I basically plan to buy a T-shirt from that album, which I really would love to, by the way. I think it's just like brutal. As a huge diehard Mortician fan, I would say that is basically a brutal album cover, and it's basically the heaviest album Mortician has ever made. And also, I hope they make this other one. I know what it's called. It's another album I'm missing. It's called, hold on. No, guys, just for the sake of it, let me go check it on my phone. I have the album on my phone. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry if I'm actually procrastinating right now. Let me just go find the name of the album. Ah, here we are. Oh, yeah, Chainsaw Dismemberment. I hope they actually, like, make that on vinyl, too. Because just like I was saying before, that would be pretty cool. There's one song on Chainsaw Dismemberment, which basically is my favorite Mortician album song on that album. And it's Island of the Dead. You know, it goes like G G G G G G, and it has that very low guttural vocals that go like that. I was like, whoa, that's pretty brutal. And I love the tone of the guitar. It sounds like a slam death metal song, but it's not. So yeah, I really love this album. Check out the back, all the songs on the back of this album, the front, the picture disc, the gatefold. Love it all. So yeah, overall, I would have to say I give this album like an 8 out of 10. To tell you the truth, it was a good album, but there's some songs I felt like were kind of repeating itself. But that's okay. I love the album anyway. I'm a diehard Mortician fan. What do you expect? It's obvious. I love this band and I love all the albums. Except for this one album. I'm like, whatever. But, you know, I love the classic 90s Mortician. The stuff that was basically made them what they are today. You know, the huge diehard fan I am of Mortician. I love its 90s death metal albums back in the days. Like, that made Mortician, just like I said right now, where they are today. Very popular and very brutal. So overall, guys, I'm going to end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed it. So overall, keep it metal, keep it brutal, keep it awesome. Hope to see you guys all soon in my next video. And have a fantastic rest of your day. And remember, and remember, always keep it metal. So goodbye.